Stan Gibilisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, listening to code practice from W1AW, going 15 words a minute. Note the frequency. I'm starting to listen now on the lower bands because the upper bands seem to be losing a little bit of their pizzazz. Too much noise on 80 meters to really hear them, and not a very good antenna either. The date, November 7th, 2013. The time, 5:36 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or 0037, 5:37, 0037, 7-hour difference, 0037 Zulu. In any case, this is the 15-word a minute W1AW transmission. Probably coming to me courtesy of a 2-element Yagi pointed right at me. Although I haven't. Now 14 megahertz is starting to fade a little bit, but they're still coming in pretty well. They're coming in all right on 18 megahertz as well. And unlike last night when I checked here, and it is night now here, it's already dark, 5:37 p.m. and it's dark out. This is 44 degrees north latitude, sort of on the eastern edge of the mountain time zone, so the sun tends to rise and set a little earlier than the average, but note it's coming in pretty well, but not on 10 meters. Of course, it rarely has come in on 10 meters. Let's see what else we can find down here. I heard some other signals here. Oh my! That's got to be a DX pileup right there. I'm going to have to come back and check that out after this video is over. 24,890 to 24,990, close to 25 megahertz. Just tuning through here. There's a radio teletype signal, so this band is not completely dead. Let's go on up here. Not as much noise as last night either. Somebody was running something last night. There's a cell phone tower up the hill from me too. I don't know how much that contributes to the problem. I should think most of its signal would shoot over my head. And it's at a much higher frequency anyway. Well, I don't hear anything here. But there's always one way to see whether or not there's really a dead band going on here. It's to go down to the chaos band. 27.065, that'd be channel 9. 85, that'd be channel 11. Popular channel here, but I don't hear anything. So I guess that we can pretty well surmise, if we don't hear any activity here, then we can be pretty sure that that the maximum usable frequency has fallen below the chaos band for all intents and purposes. But it sure hasn't fallen below here. There's a birdie in the way of that. A lot of these DX stations recently have been asking people to call them a kilohertz or two above their frequency. So we might want to look down a little lower. Well, just one parting shot I'd like to make here. I believe they're down to 13 words a minute now. W1AW used to send all of their code practice characters for 5, 7.5, and 10 words a minute. They used to send the characters themselves at the equivalent of 15 words a minute. 13 words a minute, there was a slight exception. The characters would slow down just a little bit. Now, CW has a particular structure, and what that is that each dot, or dit, is 1 bit long. If you consider each dit to be 1 bit long, then the dashes, or das, are 3 bits long. The space between a dot and a dash within a single character is 1 bit. The space between characters in a word is 3 bits. And the space between words in a sentence is 7 bits. And normally I used to believe that after a period at the end of a sentence, or any punctuation mark, like a semicolon, or a colon, or a comma, or a question mark, you would always leave 7 bits. Well, nowadays, W1AW sends their 13-word-a-minute text with the characters themselves at 15 words a minute. I can just barely detect that difference between the new method that they use now and the old way, where they actually slowed the characters down just a bit so that 13 words a minute would adhere to the exact Morse protocol. Now, 13 words a minute, they leave just a wee bit more than 3 bits between characters in a word. And of course at 10, 7.5, and 5 words a minute, they leave a lot more because the speed is slower, but they send the characters themselves at the protocol for 15 words a minute. So nowadays the Morse code has its perfect rhythm at 15 words a minute and above from W1AW. I find that extra space at 13 words a minute annoying. Now, when I took my general class license exam in 1967, they made us copy Morse code at 13 words a minute, and it followed that protocol where all of the dits and das and everything were properly formed and spaced. For some reason, recently W1AW has seen fit to change that protocol at 13 words a minute, and I find that I can hear that. Of course, that's just the tweak freak, the old CW hound in me. Just another little story there for you from the Nerd Cave, W1GV in the Black Hills of Dakota Territory, United States of America. I will say 73 for now, and so long.